Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Hell in a Cell review for 2022 WWE here on Pro Wrestling Logic. They air a Becky Lynch and Asuka video package to kick off World Women's Championship. Bianca Belair defeats Asuka and Becky Lynch to retain 18 and 55. Decent match. Fans react to everything. During the ring introductions, all three gets cheers. Lynch gets a mixed reaction, as would be expected. They are breaking into various chants. Lynch pulls Asuka out of the ring and climbs the top rope. Bianca cuts her off and slams her off the ropes. Asuka jumps off Belair's back and catches Lynch with a dropkick. Belair goes for the KOD, but Asuka manages to break free. Belair breaks free with a powerbomb into the turnbuckle. Lynch jumps in and slams Asuka off the top rope onto Belair. Asuka ends up on the apron, and then Lynch moves out of the way. Lynch moves, and Belair collides with Asuka. And then Lynch hits a second rope leg drop for a near fall. Lynch is in control of the match, and she goes for top rope leg drop on Belair. But Asuka breaks up the pin attempt. Asuka runs wild, gets a backslide for a near fall, and hits a release German suplex. Also goes for the hip attack, and that gets a "This is awesome" chant. Crowds have dropped in their impact of actually understanding what awesome means in wrestling context, I suppose. Belair then hits a handspring moonsault onto Lynch and Asuka for a near fall. Belair avoids Asuka with a backflip off the middle turnbuckles, and then Asuka fights back and hits the recoil on Belair and Lynch. Fans, again, chanting "This is awesome," and their standards are super low. Asuka then gets an ankle lock, both Lynch and Belair. They break free and sets Asuka to the floor. Belair then goes for the KOD, but Lynch escapes and hits a crossbody. Belair then catches Lynch with a small package for a near fall. Lynch recovers and hits the manhandle slam for a close 2 count. Fans break into several "This is awesome" chants, and it kind of is diluted by this point. Anyway, Belair catches Lynch with a small package for near fall. Lynch recovers and hits the manhandle slam for a close 2 count. Fans break into several "This is awesome" chants again. Asuka then misses the hip attack and gets caught in the ropes. Lynch then locked on the disarmor, and Belair breaks up Asuka and Lynch trade pin attempts, and Asuka gets the Asuka lock. Belair jumps to the top rope to break up the submission, but misses. The finish comes when Asuka hits the manhandle slam on Asuka, or Lynch hits the manhandle slam on Asuka and wins the match. Belair jumps in, throws Lynch out of the way, and steals the pin to retain the title. Lynch is angry about this. They show Roman Reigns' video package. Why he's not on the show doesn't really make sense. They show a MVP and almost rap video for the second time. In the back before this, though, Cedric Alexander approaches MVP and almost. Alexander tries coming up with a strategy. MVP tells him the Hurt Business isn't getting back together because disappointed too many times. Almost tells Alexander to leave. 8:22, when 2-on-1 handicap match, Bobby Lashley defeats Almost and MVP. If they're going to push Almost, shouldn't he be winning by now? Fans help make this a decent enough match. Match is actually kind of flat. Lashley gets a huge reaction from the fans. They break into a loud Lashley chant. MVP grabs the leg, almost nails Lashley with a forearm, and the heels take over. MVP finally gets in when Lashley's down. He attempts a suplex, but almost reverses it and slams him face first. Almost hits Snake Eyes and hits a splash in the corner. MVP tags back in and rocks Lashley with a running kick in the corner. Almost runs around ringside and drives Lashley through the barricade. Fans pop for that, and they break into a Lashley chant. Lashley beat the 10 count back into the ring. Almost goes for the choke slam, but Cedric Alexander jumps into the ring. Almost then catches him and throws him out. Lashley spears Almost and catches MVP with the Hurt Lock for the win. Fans pop big time for that. They aired Money in the Bank commercial, and now that Cody's out, I don't know that Money in the Bank really matters all that much. Anyway, Kevin Owens defeats Ezekiel 920. Crowd atmosphere doesn't really do this justice in any way because I don't think they care about this goofy storyline. They recap the lie detector segments. Ezekiel surprises Owen with a jumping knee at the bell. Fans break into a Zeke chant, but it doesn't last very long. They brawl around ringside. Owens takes over, throws Ezekiel into the ring posts, and then Owens hits a senton and a moonsault off the second turnbuckle for a near fall. Owens goes for the swanton, but then allows me to grab my phone. We'll be back with two shakes of a lamb's tail for the remainder of this. And ultimately, I mean, as mentioned, it's not necessarily a fully good program thus far, but Owens and Ezekiel at least try a little bit, and we'll be right back. And again, going towards Owens and the Ezekiel thing, I don't know that it's necessarily badly done. I don't know that it's necessarily um, you know done well. I think it's just more that it's a flat concept, and really they are not flushing out storylines that you need to see on a continual basis. When you don't have reason to, for lack of a better term, pay attention to what's going on in your deal, then why would you do it? There's a certain level of value there, and ultimately making those decisions about how and where and why you pursue certain things is an important part of mastering, how you come across. And again, the match itself is relatively flat. It's not bad, but it's also not necessary. It's not great. It's not something, in terms of must see television. And I think ultimately, they did care about giving you at least one must see segment, which, to be fair, this network purview did in terms of the Cody thing. And a lot of people have asked me in DMs or in email, what were my thoughts on Cody going as far as he did above and beyond with the injury. And the answer is, well, a lot to me would depend on the long-term effects upon his body. If he wasn't going to do any more after the torn pec in relation to injuring himself, then staying in the main event was the right thing to do. If there was a way that he would have negatively impacted his life with his family, his wife, the future of his career in a long-term way that was demonstrable, then he should have, skipped the match. Anyway, Owens hits a senton and a moonsault off the second turnbuckle. After near fall, Owens goes for the swanton, but Ezekiel gets the knees up. Ezekiel nails Owens into the corner, misses a splash, but gets a spine buster for a near fall. Ezekiel then avoids the stunner, but Owens scores a near fall with a pop-up powerbomb. And then ultimately Ezekiel goes for the stunner again, but Ezekiel rolls him up for the 2 count, climbs to the top rope. Owens cuts him off, hits a couple super kicks and cannonball in the corner. Owens then hits a stunner for the win. Fans are happy with that. Seth video package follows. Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley defeat AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan next. 16:01. Fans are into the match. They pop for the finish. All 6 face off in the middle of the ring to start, and they brawl. Edge gets sent to the floor. Styles and Balor launches Morgan in the air, and she catches Ripley with a Rana in what was a pretty cool spot to look at. Ripley then takes over and follows up with a delayed vertical suplex. Morgan then fires back with a missile dropkick. Ripley rolls out to the corner and tags in. Edge and Styles come back. Edge quickly tags out. Judgment Day takes over. Edge finally gets in the ring. He beats Balor around ringside and slammed him into the announce table. Heels isolate Balor in the corner. Balor then fights back, but Edge prevents the tag. Priest hits a series of kicks. Balor responds with head chop and a Pele kick. Styles and Edge gets the tag at the same time. Styles runs wild and scores a near fall on Edge. Edge sets up Styles on the apron, catches Priest with a running knee and a phenomenal forearm on Edge. Priest then breaks up a pin attempt. Morgan and Ripley try the pin attempts of their own, gets a decent enough reaction from the fans. Ripley hits a suplex for another near fall. Ripley then goes for the Riptide, but Morgan escapes, tags Balor. Morgan then manages to catch Ripley with a DDT. All 6 start rolling in the ring again. Styles and Balor then hit plunges onto Edge and Priest at ringside. Morgan follows up with a suicide dive on Ripley. Balor then hits the coup de grace. Ripley knocks him off the top. Styles hits a phenomenal forearm on Priest to take him out. In a brutal spot, Edge torches Styles out of the ring and through the turnbuckles. Doctors approach to check on Styles. Finish comes when Balor goes for the coup de grace, but Ripley stands in the way. Morgan takes out Ripley. Edge avoided the coup de grace and hits a spear for the win. Then they recapped Lashley defeating Omos, MVP earlier tonight. Whitey recap on a captive audience. They also recap Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin's feud. This match is a no-holds-barred match. Moss defeats Corbin 12:04. Fine for no-holds-barred match. Moss gets a decent enough reaction, hits a bunch of clotheslines. They brawl up the ramp. They fight back to the announce desk. Moss tries to use the chair, but Corbin throws it away. Fans break into a "We want tables" chant. Corbin takes over and he's pulling out a table. Fans start to pop, but Corbin puts it back to a chorus of boos. Corbin then hits chokeslam and grabs a chair from under the ring. Fans boo that he grabbed a chair and not a table. They go back to the "We want tables" chant because we've basically taught fans that spots matter more than winners and losers. Anyway, so Corbin hits deep six for the close near fall, goes under the ring again for another chair, and the fans erupt boos. The fans are dying for tables. Then Moss sends Corbin into the chair. Taking over, he beat Corbin down with a chair and hits a DDT. For a 2 count, Corbin then regained control with a chop block at ringside. He then beats Moss around, and the fans continue to chant for tables. Corbin wraps the chair around Moss's neck and drives him into the announce table. Corbin then sets up stairs in the corner, but then manages to slam him into the stairs, follows up with the punchline, and wraps the chair around Corbin's neck. Moss then gives Corbin a Pillmanizer to win with a chair. I don't know that I care about either one of these talents. They air Money in the Bank commercial again. They show Bianca Belair video package. Then U.S. Champ Austin Theory defeats Mustafa Ali 10 minutes and 23 seconds. They have a decent match. Fans are hoping for the hometown hero to win, but this is WWE, and we don't really care about the fans. They introduce Ali as Chicago's own. He gets a huge reaction. Theory then has an early advantage. Side headlocks and other basics. Crossbody to the floor. Fans break into an Ali chant. Ali climbs the top, but Theory shoves him off into ringside. Fans break into a "Let's go Ali" chant. Theory slows the pace of the match down with a chin lock. Fans break into another Ali chant. Ali comes back and catches Theory with a spinning heel kick. Takes over with the neck breaker to loud cheers. Theory then pushes him off the top, but Ali lands on his feet. Theory then recovers and hits a version of the Spanish Fly. Ali fights back and climbs to the top, but Theory cuts him off. Theory then goes for his finish, but gets cut off. Ali reverses into an STF to a huge pop. Theory fights back and makes his way to the ropes. Ali then hits Tilt-A-Whirl DDT on the ropes and climbs to the top again. Fans are buzzing as Ali climbs up. He jumps off but misses. Theory hits chop block. He then follows up with the A-Town for the win. Fans erupt into boos. Then we go to the main event, the match that everyone's really here to see. Cody Rhodes defeating Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell 24-29. They have an awesome match. They work hard and tell a decent story. Rollins wore black tights with yellow polka dots, kind of like Dusty Rhodes. Fans sing Rollins' theme music at his entrance. Fans booed him after that. Rollins goes after the injury. Cody breaks free. Cody hits a cutter, but it hurt. Rhodes fights back, and the fans break into a brief Cody chant. Rollins regains control after hitting Rhodes with the steps. Rollins then pulls out a belt with yellow polka dots. Fans sing Rollins' theme music. Rollins whispered to Rhodes and whipped him for several minutes. And then he pulls out a table, massive pop, and then they even chant "Thank you, Rollins, for giving them the table." Rollins takes over and places Rhodes on the table, goes for the frog splash, but Rhodes moves. Rollins then crashes through the table and gets a huge pop. Rhodes then pulls out a bull rope under the ring. He demands that Rollins put on the bull rope, and we have a bull rope match. Rhodes rocks Rollins with a super kick and cracks him with the cowbell for a near fall. There's the use of a second table. That leads to a pop, and then Rollins pulls out a sledgehammer. Rhodes kicks it out of his hands. Rollins hits pedigree to a massive pop. Fans are happy. Rhodes picks up the sledgehammer. Rollins runs away. Rhodes chase after him. They get back in the ring. Rollins hits the stomp for a near fall. Rhodes and Rollins ran from the sledgehammer. Rollins then gets at it first, but couldn't understand using it because of his injury. Rollins then recovers and hits two crossroads. He picks up the sledgehammer and hits Rollins in the face to win to a massive pop. And obviously Rhodes winning is amazing. Wish he wasn't going injured, but hey, what can you do? Injuries happen. We'll be back with more right after this.